come have a field day, Livingston County way. We got Letchworth Park, Grand Canyon of the East, historic little towns where you can shop and feast. Hiking, biking, fishing too. It's a Finger Lakes experience just right for you. So come have a field day in Livingston County, New York.
Have a field day in Livingston County!
FAM is short for familiarization, and it's a tool used in the travel and tourism industry to acquaint somebody with an area or a destination. In Livingston County, we have a motor coach FAM tour every year. We base it on a different theme every year, and this year it was all about being in the great outdoors in our community. We started our day at the Rainy Day Cafe, a new cafe in revitalized Mount Morris. We had a wonderful breakfast of locally made pastries, and it was a way for us to acquaint everybody, get everybody acclimated to the day. The motor coach was donated to us by Covered Wagon Tours, our local motor coach company, and we were very fortunate to have that provided to us so that we could spend the day in comfort as we rolled around the county.
I've been involved directly with the area for the last 2 years. It gets a lot of public use. Being close to Canisius Lake, it gets a lot of activity here. And one thing that you're standing on right now is was an improvement that was done a couple years ago. A number of people come in here. I would say thousands of people actually come down here and visit this in the spring as a result of the walleye population that comes up South McMillan Creek here. It's initially about 1,000 acres, a little over 1,000 acres with this area, which is actually geared towards fish and wildlife activities, although we get a lot of other use. I mean, there's birding, hiking, canoeing. On the area, we have an active eagle nest, and you can actually view it. There's a parking area down on Swamp Road.
It was started by Bishop McQuaid, who was the first Catholic bishop of the Diocese of Rochester, and he ran the winery in order to produce a reliable source of sacramental wines. In 2005, I started the Eagle Crest Table Wines, and so that's been going pretty well for about 5 or 6 years now. And I brought 2 wines today, our semi-dry Riesling from 2010, and then our Hemlock Red, seeing as we're on Hemlock Lake, which is a nice dry red table wine. The Finger Lakes area is becoming world-renowned for its Rieslings, as most of you might know. And I think this is a really nice representation of what we can do at Riesling in the Finger Lakes.
Specifically want to talk today about my hiking booklet. We documented over 21 trails. Because of these lakes are so small, they often get forgotten when they're put with the big Finger Lakes. So we're trying to create a regional identity around the Little Finger Lakes, Canisius, hemlock-canadice, and honeoye. I've identified 21 trails that are in this area, major roads that go between them, and pretty much you can navigate to get to them. And then the book deals with 12 of the trails and has little hand-drawn maps.
When we left the Hemlock Lake, we went over to Hemlock Hills Alpaca Farm. This was one of the high points of this tour. Those alpaca kept everybody laughing. It was time for lunch, and we headed over to North Shore Grill, one of the newest restaurants in our county and right on the north end of Canisius Lake.
All right, well, welcome to the Caledonia Fish Hatchery. This is the oldest fish hatchery in the Western Hemisphere. So it was started in 1864 by Mr. Seth Green. He was up in Canada catching fish because, quite honestly, around here there weren't a lot of fish. I mean, between damming of streams for mills and pollution and no regulations. So he was up in Canada observing some fish spawning. So he climbed up in a tree and actually sat in the tree for 2 days. And while sitting in a tree, he watched a male and a female come along. She lays their eggs, he fertilizes them, they use their tails, knock the stones over, swim off, parental duty's done. Then he watches another fish come up and eat the eggs that weren't covered up very well. He said, you know, if I put those eggs in a protected environment, we'd have more fish to go around. And that was the germ of the idea that got him going.
So we leave the hatchery and we head over to Main Street in Caledonia. We're visiting Country Junction, a great antique shop of local vendors, and we also experience our famous Victory Cake from the Caledonia Village Inn.
So when we were in the planning stages, we had all these different kinds of ideas and what we would want to put on the menu, and something I worked on for almost a year was this cake. It was actually a cake that was done as a celebratory cake for the return of the soldiers from World War II. So we called it a victory cake because we have this monument out here that was dedicated by Teddy Roosevelt when he was the governor. And even though it wasn't World War II, it was still in kind of honor of the people that have served for us.
Back on the motor coach, and we made our way to Mount Morris. Mount Morris has been revitalized. It is a community that is drawing visitors, and it is a great place to shop. We're here in Mount Morris visiting and shopping with the county's annual motor coach tour. As local residents, just give me a feel of what your feeling is about what's happening with Mount Morris.
What's happening is a whole new excitement, a whole new feeling here, and that's really what it is, a vibrant community. People are on the sidewalk, people are eating dinner, people are having fun, people are walking by. It's fantastic.
It makes us talk more to each other. I see the merchant talking much more to each other, and I find that exciting.
Rick, you've been with us on the county's annual bus tour the entire day. Did you learn anything new about Livingston County?
I did. There's a lot of things to do in Livingston County that you need to be reminded about. Living in the county, you always go to the same places all the time. And taking the tour now, I've seen a lot of new places, had my memory refreshed about a lot of things that were going on. And getting around the part of the county that we did, you get to see a lot of the things that you might have known about years ago, but are good to see again, and realize, hey, a lot of things have changed and improved too.
Come have a field day, Livingston County way. We got Letchworth Park, Grand Canyon of the East, historic little towns where you can shop and feast. Hiking, biking, fishing too. It's a Finger Lakes experience just right for you. So come have a field day.